Oh,
Hello.
ready for the movie? Got anything to talk about before the trailers start up?
What are we going to talk about today?
I guess the new Chainsaw Man.
Yeah. Isn't
Yeah,
it
there's a new
awesome?
episode
Isn't it
and
awesome how
chapter
we
at the
have
same time.
one day the week that has double feature of Chainsaw Man and then another Chainsaw
And then
Man?
more Chainsaw Man. It's amazing the amount of content we're getting. Though I was thinking before, I saw some tweets about how it might have been better if it wasn't airing at the same time that new chapters are coming out.
No, it's perfect.
You think?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, in the time between part one and two, we did get a lot of those Fujimoto one shots, but no
Right.
actual Chainsaw Man.
Yeah. So what's your point? that
Nothing.
the anime
Just
should have aired back then when there was no Chainsaw Man and just the Fujimoto one shots, or
although
do you think there's a
some
better timing?
actually, I think that it had to be this way because if they had done the anime earlier, we wouldn't
Yeah,
have had that shot in the opening where Power is walking away from an explosion like in Goodbye Eri. Yeah,
that's true. That
such a
wouldn't
good
have
moment.
happened
Exactly.
unless it might be possible that Fujimoto knows about the badasses don't look at explosions meme,
Mm-hmm.
or rather the Lonely Island song, and that what's it called? Goodbye Eri is
Mm-hmm.
entirely based on just that. And that he
Could have been.
started giving them directions for the opening, and then he was like, I do
Maybe I'll put
like
that into another one
explosions.
shot.
And
Everyone
then,
likes explosions. They make things more fun.
by the way, my name is Maxi Hamburger.
And I'm Percival Fine.
We don't do
And
this enough,
let's say our
introducing
names.
ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, we usually say it every time.
Well, in the Weekly Shonen Jump uh,
Mm-hmm.
discussions, Chainsaw Man is different. Chainsaw Man is supposed to be like really short, and you know what's going on. You
Yeah?
know what our deal is. Do you know what our deal is? I know what our deal is.
What's our deal?
My deal is hamburgers.
Yeah. Anyway, I also reread the chapters that are relevant to this week's episode.
Ah,
Did you read those?
no, which ones?
I think it's chapter 5 through 7
Oh, you
that
mean
covers
for
this
the?
stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I maybe should have done that.
Okay.
Didn't do it. Lots of
Yeah, because
surprises when you forget what happened 15
mhm.
years ago when Chainsaw Man came out first. And
back in 1997 when
yeah,
Chainsaw Man originally happened.
what a good year. And when you have this image of the characters in your mind, the way they arrive at the end of the series, but at the beginning they were a little bit different,
Mm-hmm.
right? So seeing Power still being kind of an asshole to everybody. Wait, doesn't that
Yeah.
change?
Not really. She
But
gets she
even
gets
more,
queenier to Denji as it
she,
goes on.
she
She likes
mellows
Denji in the
out
end.
like 5%.
Yeah. But she does have a flashback where she's like fully feral. So you get a
Yeah.
glimpse of, oh, this is why she's like that.
You know what? I didn't like the flashback. In general,
You
I
didn't like the
like
flashback.
no,
Really?
because in the flashback she meets Meowy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, wow, you must be hungry. I'll give you food, and then she kills a cow just to get the milk.
No, she gives Meowy the milk first, and then she kills the cow for herself. See, she's so good to her cat. She gives the cat what it needs before
She
herself.
even use the cow?
Hmm?
I think she doesn't use the cow. I think she's just
She's
like
drinking its
killing it
blood
for the.
while
Is
Meowy
she?
is drinking the milk. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, she's a very good cat owner.
Mm, it still seems like a waste of a good cow.
She doesn't make hamburgers out of it. Is that why you're
No,
upset?
yeah, that's the point.
Yeah. I like her flashback because it's like, yeah,
'Cause she's naked.
it's that is a good part of it too. Yeah, but it shows that this is a devil learning how to care for something else, and it's a cat. She got that.
It doesn't really explain like this that never got explained in the manga as well, but it doesn't really explain how
Like how she became a fiend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's just
kind of an important detail, I would say, but it's left completely unexplained.
It's not
Like
really
how
explained for most fiends. They just kind of gloss over it, right? Like they say,
for
fiends
power
are
you
when a
could
devil
have
takes
it.
over a dead human.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
she's like the one who you would do, but then they don't.
exactly. So other than her being naked, left me a little bit wanting for more.
I was overall fine with it.
I have a few things to say about the episode, like some assorted notes that I screenshots, in fact, that I
You're
picked.
typing. Okay, yeah, let's look at some.
So the first one where you see Makima's butt.
Yeah.
Don't
Very
look at
close
the
up.
butt. You have to listen to the dialogue where Denji and Power are fighting. It never really comes across in the translation. You probably like it. It probably depends which subtitles you get. But
Is he talking about like the archaic way that Power
yes,
talks?
he's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is your? Why are you using washi? That's creepy. It's not just like, why do you talk like that? He's specifically saying, what's the deal with your stupid quirk? Are you
Her typing quirk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It never really occurred to me that she might be using something different because I've always just read the translations. So you kind of lose out if you don't know that she's using the old geezer speaking quirk.
I mean, in the translations I've read on the Viz website, it does that. They sort of change the words that she uses. Yeah. So like instead of it's, she'll say tis, this or that. And she'll drop in some these and thous somewhere.
But it's not the same.
I know, but it's probably the closest English equivalent.
Still missing out. Anyways.
So anyway, this first scene, that's before the opening credits. I noticed a couple changes from the manga.
Ooh,
one
good
is
tell.
that this shot is not in the manga.
Yeah, I imagine.
Then it was just the more overhead shot, but there's so much dialogue. They're like, oh, we need to move the camera a little bit more, and this is a fun place to put it. And imagine fans wishing for smell-o-vision right now. Another thing is that in the manga translation I've read, when Makime at the end is praising Power, when Power says that she'll do what Makima wants her to do, in the anime subtitles, then she just says, "Very good, Power," but then in the manga translation it says, "Good girl, Power." And I thought, that fits much better for the dog theme that she has going on.
I suppose that might be true. I wanted to just acknowledge that they have this really cool place where there is a million vending machines.
Yeah.
And I'm really jealous because I'm Denji here, He's like,
It's the cultural center of humanity.
yes, being able to just grab a drink, that's a dream. That's a dream come true. Incidentally, I just dreamed about winning the lottery. And part of the dream was me waking up inside the dream. Like, it's part of the plot that I'm waking up. I'm like, that must have been a dream. Better check my banking account to see if it was a dream. And then the money was there. I was like, this is so cool. And I was already making plans about what I would do with 7 million buckaronis. And
Was he getting a bunch of vending machines?
I mean, spoiler, but yeah, I would get decorative vending machines for my personal for my personal house. Is it a house? I have some plans.
Yeah, I feel like
I'll
I've
show you.
seen-
I'll show you eventually. If you stick around long enough with this show, you will see my house eventually.
I feel like I've seen one of those shows where they like redecorate houses and stuff. Where one of the items was a fully functional vending machine, but you don't have to put money in it to get stuff out of it.
Nice.
I mean, but you have to stock it yourself.
That's okay. The visuals alone is whetting my appetite already. If you've seen German vending machines, right? And then if you see
I don't know the difference.
Japanese, well, you've seen
I know the
American vending
Japanese
machines.
ones. Yeah.
American vending machines to Japanese ones are like German to Americans.
Does that mean that yours are like way more old school?
Way shittier than yours.
That's sad.
So
I just googled German vending machine, and one of the top hits is a meat vending machine.
No, we only have really stupid vending machines that don't even have anything specialized in it.
Like meat?
And they're usually covered in graffiti and stuff because nobody's using them except people who are like vandalism. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the decay of society.
So
when you have graffiti on vending machines.
From your American point of view, you can look at Japanese vending machines and be like, yes, these are perfect. They're so much better. Now imagine if you lived in a place where the vending machines where your vending machines are the better versions, and then there is an even better version out there in the world.
It's like going 2 steps forward on the tech tree.
That's why I love this place where they can hang out and just drink yogurt water.
And they meet a cat there too. Oh, and there's another difference is the animators are much better at drawing cats, and it's a much cuter cat in the anime than the one in the manga.
That's okay.
Yeah.
As a mangaka, you're allowed to draw shitty animals.
Although Meowy is pretty cute. It's just the cat they meet next to the vending machines is...
It's a specific cat.
Yeah, the specific cat was uncute.
It's uncute on purpose.
Probably. How did you like Denji's face turn? When he's like, I'm not gonna help you, it's stupid. I don't care about cats.
Well, if it was a dog.
Like, yeah, and Power says, well, if you help me with my cat, maybe I'll let you touch my chest.
And he gets very fired up.
He gets super fired up.
Is Power like seeing through the act? Like he's doing the thing. He's like almost being it's kind of like a joke, right? Like it's not even Denji isn't stupid enough to change the tune so quickly as to think like, maybe they're buying it. I think he's like aware that he's saying something outrageous and being kind of being too greedy, right? The question is Power like, does she get that this would be a joke, or is she like, oh, he's so fired up about cats, what a nice guy?
No, I think, well, because it's a trick. She wants to feed him to the Bat Devil. She's happy that it worked.
Mm.
It's
So
like, oh
she,
yeah, it worked.
I see. Well, anyways, they have this talk on the what's it called in English? The street cart,
Trolley.
the trolley.
Yeah, it's called a trolley.
Mm. Always causing problems. You recently showed me a tweet where people are like, "Oh, these dialogues in Chainsaw Man are so deep," and I feel like this conversation they have, where Denji is trying to explain that, like he's trying to get to the point where he can explain that he's a fiend,
Yeah.
that he has Pochita in his heart, and she surprisingly goes like,
Yeah, I like
"Ah,
that
that's stupid.
misunderstanding.
That stupid phrase. I hate it. It's so sentimental. Uh, if something dies, it doesn't live on in your heart." And Denji, instead of going like, "No, you idiot," I was.
I mean,
It's
literally.
he literally became my heart. He's like, "Yeah, okay, whatever."
It's also kind of funny because, as a fiend, she should know that that's possible.
Yes, and
She's an example of that.
I mean, it also becomes important for the plot that she doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that this is a kind of conversation that it I don't know how to say this. This feels relatively refreshing that people are talking past each other in an anime,
Yeah.
and both make a point of their like attitude, philosophy, whatever, and it's still advancing the plot.
Yeah, it's good. I like
This
that
is
sort of thing.
I don't know how. There's probably a more succinct observation to make, but this conversation itself felt like, this is important, even though they talk about like something that's not important.
What do you mean? They're talking about the
It's
lives
just a
of their
transitional
pets.
scene where they move from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to say it. It felt good. Um,
There's a lot of talking while traveling in this
yeah,
episode. Yeah.
Makima had a talk with her superiors, even though it's kind of like when you know who Makima is.
Yeah. Are they?
Are they really? But they were kind of like evaluating her choices, and she was completely above it. And was like, well, one of them is useful and one of them is interesting. So let's see how this goes. Aki
Yeah.
somehow was he heard this conversation, even though I didn't notice him in the room. And then
He was probably just
he
waiting outside in the hallway.
maybe. So he's noting on what she said, and she pauses so long to give him her answer, right?
Mhm.
Like when he's like, Denji is shit. He's a hobo. Why would you say he's interesting? He's just disgusting. And then Makima pauses so long that I was thinking, is she going to say, "Did I ask your fucking opinion?" Or what's she going to say? And then she just talks about how the coffee devil would be weak, and that the car
Yeah.
devil would be strong, just because people are
She,
always concerned
can't
about
come out.
traffic.
She can't come out and say to a devil hunter, because I'm a Chainsaw Man fan. Because none of them know about Chainsaw Man.
I also like that she mentioned that a car devil could exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not a car devil.
It would be pretty powerful.
I think the most fun about Chainsaw Man speculations is just coming up with things that would be scary
Exactly.
and what they would
Well,
be
that's why
like as a
every
devil.
week I try to come up with a devil of the week.
What's this
Although
week's devil?
Well, this week, because there's a special occasion, I'm gonna have to say it's the Cosmos Devil.
Why is that?
No, it's the fear, the devil that's associated with the fear of the cosmos. Is infinite knowledge. It's
Oh,
what you fear when you stare up into space and you just see it going on for infinity.
are you saying
And
this
then
because
once all of the knowledge of the cosmos has flowed into your brain, all you're
you
able to
think
say
about
is
Halloween?
Halloween.
That's a you can't make that joke. You're timing us. You can't reveal to later
Why
viewers that
not?
we were recording this in the week before Halloween.
But
That's
that's the time that this episode came out.
keep it secret.
Did you have anything else to say about the anime? Because
No,
after this, after the conversations, it's just Denji gets fed to the Bat Devil, and
yeah.
then fighting time.
The rest of
Pretty
the
good
episode is
animation.
just action.
Yeah.
So
I will
really
say,
hard to say anything about it other than action good.
yes, very
Fight
good.
good.
I will say about it
I liked it when you punched him.
when Power is like giving up and lets the Bat Devil eat her.
Oh right, she
after-
says like, you said you felt shitty about when you weren't able to pet
Yeah.
Pochita anymore, and
Like,
now
now I
that
know
I've
how you
seen, yeah, now I know how you feel. And she gets eaten, and like she's reunited in the stomach with Meowy, so she could just pet
Yeah,
Meowy
first
inside the stomach.
of all, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, well, I've read the manga, so I know she can get out, but
Yeah.
I still felt sad when she got swallowed.
Considering that she just betrayed Denji, and
But
just because
she had a
she
sad
herself got
backstory,
betrayed. She
where she was
herself
sitting
got
alone on a
betrayed, and that's
swing.
the only thing that made her go like, "Ah, maybe I was an asshole all along." I think that's not just, that's in this moment. It's not enough to make me go like, "Ah, I forgive her."
It makes me wish that I'd been like taking notes when I read it the first time, because I'm like, am I sad now because I'm more familiar with Power? And back when I first read it and didn't really know her except that, haha, she's funny and she's kind of a jerk to Denji. Was I sad back then, or was I just like, oh, I guess that's the end of her?
See, the superpower that you need to acquire is just forgetting everything that's happened before, and
But
then putting yourself.
you can't forget the feeling of how much you liked Power. So still, when you see her, even if you don't remember all the details,
No, you get into the zone.
your heart will still feel.
Get completely absorbed by the episode and what it's trying to do, and telling the story from start to the end. You have to just get into the mindset of like, oh, this is on you. And
Maybe.
when I saw it, I was
The
like,
other-
I don't feel sorry for her at all.
Oh, I felt sorry for her. The other thing I thought, though, is that Denji regenerates himself and is able to fight because he drinks some of the Bat Devil's blood.
He's licking a little bit,
Yeah. Makes a pretty disgusting sound.
making Minecraft noise.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But Power, what's keeping her from using her blood abilities from within the Bat Devil's
What?
stomach and just cutting it in half?
Indeed. Why wouldn't she do anything? Why isn't she fighting back? If she
Yeah.
considers Meowy to be dead now, like, all the more reason to go all out,
Yeah, revenge time.
right? And you've seen enough fantasy action, I don't know, like stuff where big monster and it's hard to beat. You can always beat it from the inside. That's always, every single time, like, oh, it's opening its mouth now. That's the weak point. If it doesn't have a big glowing eye on its back or on its tail, right? Then inside the mouth. Either
Power will
way,
know about it. Yeah.
Power should get out of there.
Yeah,
She can
yeah.
make-
She should escape. Even
She
like
can make blades
also-
out of her blood.
once she gets in there and finds that Meowy is still alive,
Yeah.
she should be like, okay, time to get out of here with you.
Form a sphere around Meowy out of blood. and keep Meowy safe.
What if it's Denji's fault that she didn't? Like she was about to do that.
And every time
Meowy,
Denji
you're
punches.
here. I'm gonna break us out. But then like Denji is punching the Bat Devil and they keep shaking around. She's like, I
Very
can't do it.
funny.
Anyway, yeah, pretty good episode. We
Mm,
also read
new
the
ending.
new chapter. Yeah, that's right.
I think every episode gets a new ending.
That's crazy. That's so much
They
work.
know everybody wants to be part of the anime, right?
Mm.
Because this is something that everybody's going to talk about for like at least this year and
Mm-hmm.
several years. So if people are like, "Oh, that's the from the ending of Chainsaw Man," then that's a huge boost to your popularity.
So is it guest animators then? Because
publicity?
one thought I had, huh?
I haven't thought about the animation.
Okay.
I'm
Just one thought
right
I
now.
had
I'm
about
only
last
talking
week.
about the song.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But
because
yeah,
it's a different animation too. Last week I was thinking like this looks like something that you would see as a fan animation. Did you get that feeling from last week's as well?
No,
I don't know.
not
Something
really.
about it. Something about it made me think fan animation.
Well,
But
I see.
either way.
Always nice to see
good
a
stuff.
new piece from. Hear a new piece from Maximum the Hormone.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm not really into heavy metal.
Yeah.
I do have the thing where
I mainly know about them because they do anime songs.
I think that's the main thing they want to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've done so many.
If you were a rock band, wouldn't you?
Yes, always.
Yeah, that's like the only reason to learn music these days.
Into
I
animes.
want to have my song.
If you're a Western musician, you still get a chance to do it because Edge Runners, Franz Ferdinand also had the ending to what is it called? Not Nana, the other one. Anyways, let's move on to the manga.
Else. Yeah, let's talk about the manga now. I liked this chapter.
Yeah.
Very good. We got some surprises. Remember last week we were thinking like, oh, what's gonna happen? What is the one thing that Asa could do that Yuko doesn't want her to do?
Yes.
Like, oh, maybe she's gonna like threaten to kill herself unless Yuko stops.
No, don't do that.
But no, it's not.
It's something different that nobody has expected because it's coming completely out of left field.
That fans, something that's maybe less dramatic, the fans will appreciate way more.
I appreciate it.
Here's Yuko saying that she didn't kill that many people.
Yes, specifically only 3 or 4, because the girl who got catapulted out of the window, unclear if she's dead. Yes.
Yeah.
I like the little nod at us maybe liking her already just because she had a cool hat. Then let's see. I liked Yuko's reasoning behind trying to kill all of the bullies, because maybe that'll send a message to all of the bullies across Japan.
Yeah, it could stop bullying.
Yeah,
anywhere.
Such a noble goal. I can totally empathize with that.
Even as a crazed killer monster, Yuko is such a good girl.
Yeah. Then the reveal what Asa was thinking in the last chapter that Yuko was so opposed to, is that she grabs her clothes and turns her clothes into
the first thing is when she puts her hand on her chest, I was like, oh, she's starting to gesture to herself the same way that Yoru does. But no, that's not the reason for it. It's because she's going to turn her clothes into a super strong uniform sword. And I laughed out loud at this, and the Kill la Kill music started playing in my head. I saw it.
Very nice. We needed this. What would happen since the school uniform was a present from her mom.
Yes,
last
that's the
thing she
explanation
bought
for
for her.
why it's so powerful.
That's why it has such a sentimental value to her, and that's why it becomes powerful. But like, what about her underwear?
It's not
She
part of the
certainly
uniform.
didn't buy that herself. Her mom must have bought that too. And she's wearing her underwear
be.
way more than her school uniform. She must
It
have.
could be an even more powerful weapon.
Yes, maybe she should
Become
try it
panty and
out.
stocking.
Right. She tries attacking with it. It's completely useless because Asa is not a fighter. Somehow,
Or is it?
this attack already unleashed the secret, let's say, sub ability of the sword. Yeah, that's this reaction and the way they're drawn. That was really funny. Hyoru is not impressed. Then strong.
This devil down once again.
Like, she didn't even hit her. She only hit her once, and that creates so many cuts. It's not even possible.
Yeah, that's just how powerful the super strong uniform sword
So
is.
basically, all the weapons that she can create, right, can have crazy effects.
Yes.
If she turns something into a gun, right? It won't just shoot bullets. It might shoot like huge explosion.
Could be.
Possible. Because if one sword does like a super weak hit that doesn't even like, it barely
Literally
even
bounces off.
It bounces off. If that creates so many cuts, unintentionally even, what else? Like, what? How powerful would be the weapon that Yuko becomes?
Ooh.
Right?
Good question.
Anyway, so suddenly new character appears. It's like, do you want her? Do you want her to die? Maybe we should revive her. And then the internet goes crazy because everybody's speculating
super
who this
hype about
is.
her.
Do you have a favorite speculation? Which one do you
not
believe?
really. No.
Most people, it seems, on the Western side call her the Hunger Devil, and most people on the Japanese side call her the Death Devil. Devil. Because one thing is that everybody's aware of the four riders of the apocalypse. Yeah. Somehow the Japanese side thinks it's only 3. So they don't even have plague, pestilence on the radar. So they have to choose between, is it death or is it hunger? And most people look at her earrings and go either that the triangle plus the circle is a nod to Harry Potter, because in the Deathly Hallows they
have a triangle and a circle.
That's the symbol for
I've
those.
seen the sticker.
And also somebody pointed out that this might be, the triangle supposed to be scales, and somehow death. No, wait. Is it? What was the reasoning? One of them sometimes uses scales, and that was the reasoning. But
she just likes the triangle instrument.
Personally, I thought those were supposed to be like the pull thing on Denji's.
I've seen that
Chainsaw?
comparison as well. She's just a fan of Chainsaw Man as well.
Yeah, so this is, I thought this was just Chainsaw Man merch.
Could be. There's no way she's Chainsaw Man. She's even bought his merch.
So when she offers to revive Yuko, right? I think that's probably the strongest indicator that she would be death, because like death would be the one to stave off death of somebody else, right? She would be like, oh, you're dying, let me take the death away.
But on the other hand, we've seen before that devils can have incredible regeneration just by
Eating
having
something?
some blood. Yeah. So it's like in that case, like anyone who knows the way devils work might be able to save her, even though like, I mean it does look pretty bad for her.
Mm,
So yeah, I'm not sure exactly how she's saving her. If it's something directly related to what
eating?
kind of devil ability she has, or if it's just like giving her blood.
So if
The
she
thing,
was able to give her
it's
the
like either way, neither having power over death or giving blood would really make that much sense for why she becomes huge at the end.
yeah.
Neither of those really match, so I'm like, it could go either way. Another
Mm,
thing, so one thing that I was like, this is a long shot,
okay.
but it's another possibility that I'm not seeing anyone saying, because you're saying that people are saying it's either hunger or death. So
Yes.
I did some reading about the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and they
Ooh, did
are
you know?
in order: pestilence,
Yes.
war,
Yeah.
famine, and death.
Ah.
But you notice that she says my little sister.
Yes.
There's only one that comes before war,
Hmm.
and that's pestilence.
What if it's
And
her?
then another thing about pestilence, that's not the original name of that horseman.
Ah, what was it?
The original name of the first horseman was Conquest.
Ooh.
And also, it used to not be seen as a bad one. People used to think that the first horseman was a good one. And they said that the first
Really?
horseman, yeah, they said the first horseman represented Christianity conquering the world.
What?
Yeah. And there's a lot of like medieval and Renaissance art where the first horseman is literally Jesus.
Hmm.
And
I think that's less cool.
the shape of her earrings, the circle and the triangle,
Mm-hmm.
also vaguely resemble the fish
Resembles
symbol
Jesus. I
on
see
lots
it now.
of, yeah, on lots of old Christian stuff. So
Hmm.
it's a longer shot, but it's possible that she's the first one and
Actually,
not famine
I
or death.
remember a third thing that
Mm-hmm.
was important to this. Everybody keeps posting a panel where Makima said in the past that war, hunger, death aren't those things that would be nice if they didn't exist anymore.
Hmm.
So that's one more reason why people are like, oh, it must be one of these three things. And we know who war is, so.
Yes.
Also, people pointed out that the war devil in its weird bird form also
Mm-hmm.
had the same
The eyes.
eyes as Makima and this girl had. So,
Yeah.
a lot of things to consider and
Lots of possibilities.
hard to know one way or another. I'm
think
placing my bets on death.
okay. I'm gonna go the other way. I'll say pestilence or conquest, whichever you want to call it. Just because it's the first one listed,
Hmm.
that means it's got to be the oldest one, right? The oldest sister.
Mm, mm, mm. Death should be older than war, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
People
think going
died before
by
war was invented.
going
First,
by
the first person
the
who invented
history.
war was like, ah, shit, don't want to
Yeah, it would
die.
go the other way. The first thing, actually, no, the first thing that humanity would know would be hunger. And then that would be the first thing you fear, right? Because even if
Yes,
you're
smart.
just a little baby, then hunger, you don't like it.
Yes.
Even before you can understand what death is, then you learn what death is, and then probably
Mm,
after that, then pestilence / conquest.
is
Because
pestilence necessarily like the Black Plague thing? Or can it be all sicknesses? Because then I would say
Probably all sicknesses.
all sicknesses, right?
Yeah. I mean, the interpretations of Revelations are pretty wild. There's lots of different ideas people have, so
Hmm.
who knows?
I think all of them are incorrect unless I say so.
The
I
true
have the
authority.
only true revelation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, another thing about this chapter is when Yuko gets cut up,
Mm-hmm.
then Asa has a brief flashback to Bucky. And
Yeah.
like, she hasn't even officially joined the Devil Hunters Club yet. She's already dispatched 2 devils. She's a natural at this. You haven't watched What We Do in the Shadows, have you?
No, but I want to. Wait,
There's,
the movie or the series? All in all, nice motivations, nice fan service, cool sword,
I hope it comes back.
new character. Why didn't she keep the teacher sword? What happened to
Probably would have
that?
been weird.
Yeah, but like, it's useful.
Yeah.
He
Probably
loves
meant she'd
her.
have to carry
He was
his head around.
he was super horny for her. That means she owned him, and that means it must have been really strong. It's one of those things like where
Do
Giorno.
you think if she had kept the teacher's head sword, do you think that it would have talked to her in other times?
Oh no, wouldn't want that. I think it's treated as if the teacher is dead, right? So
Yeah.
we don't have to assume that the sword would be able to talk. But like this is like when Giorno in JoJo Part 5 was able to create life, and every time you attack the life form that he created, your attack bounces back, and it only happens in the first chapter.
Yeah.
And then it never happens again. And because I guess it would have been way too powerful, and it's much more interesting to just have him create different types of life, and every time
I don't think that's really comparable because it's not like she isn't using the ability. It's just that she used the ability once and then threw away the sword.
She's not keeping the weapons she made.
Yeah, well, because it got blown up in the explosion.
Mm.
And now,
I think it would have been
she's gonna
funny
keep
if
this
she
sword.
had this huge collection of weapons she created, and one of them would still be the teacher.
I think this one is going to be a permanent thing that we're gonna see a lot.
Yeah, because it had
Super
sentimental
strong
value.
sword. Yeah, I hope it can transform. So she wears it and then turns it into a sword. And then always has to go into underwear mode.
Would she be able to turn it back?
We'll see.
Is that something she can do?
Maybe.
If she could do that,
yet.
I think that would open up a lot.
If she could do that, then it wouldn't. Then she wouldn't have to worry about her conflict with Yoru over Yuko. Because Yoru would be like, turn Yuko into a weapon. And then she'd be like, okay, because then after we're done, I can turn her back, and since she's a devil, she'll be able to revive.
No. I think she would just turn into a corpse.
Oh, that would be sad.
Yeah, that would be sad, right? So that's why she should probably only do that to inanimate objects.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking as if Yuko's is gonna make it out of this, which we don't know. It's highly likely that right now she's going Tetsuo, and there will be no more after this.
Oh no! Well, I'm just waiting for her to turn her into a weapon already. That's
see how cool a Yuko weapon is.
Yeah. That's the one cool thing that's going to happen.
Every time Asa befriends someone new, you're like, what kind of weapon are you gonna be? Oh, you could be so cool. Do you want her to befriend the Hat Girl for that purpose?
No.
Oh yeah, one other thought I had regarding the transformation of her clothes
Hmm.
Is that when Yoru sees it bounce off and comments that it's weak?
Yeah.
She's also only in her underwear.
Hmm.
She's the same as Asa. I'm wondering, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I clapped when I saw it.
And I'm thinking, like, since she's kind of a mental image, I wonder what it's
Yeah.
like when the other one is getting changed. Do the
Yeah.
clothes like materialize and dematerialize on and off of them?
Camera switches between them, and then every time it switches back, Yoru is wearing another thing.
That would be the cheap way to do it.
It's the only way to do it. You can't go any other way.
Have you seen? No, I've seen some music videos where they do an effect to make clothes fly onto people,
Hmm.
and it's by they have the clothes rigged up to break in the back, and then they have wires on the front. They pull it off, and then they play it in reverse, so it looks like the clothes are flying onto them.
Hmm.
That's how they could do that in the anime.
Fine, maybe.
Have the clothes fly off.
That's how you want it to
Dematerialize.
happen, but I'm thinking about some
The
kind
way you're
of
doing it is how it's going to happen.
yeah.
All right. Well, anything else to say, or should we just sit in silence until the movie starts?
Yeah, let's just watch the ads.
All right. Give me some of that popcorn then.
No, it's fine.
No popcorn, devil. Devil born of the fear of not having popcorn during the movie.
That's the weakest devil.